spirits linger there. When the lights go out, the sisters go in. Go sisters arise, let the hunt begin. Through the veil of the night they see within. When the lights go out, the sisters go in.
Okay, so my name is Jonna. My last name's and I the house is probably built in the 70s, early 70s, I'd say. There was one owner, and they're actually friends of mine, so I know them. And him and his wife had this house built, and when they sold it, my mom and dad bought it. So there's only been them and my parents that owned this home or lived in it. My dad lived in it. My mom and dad had the house for 30 some years. Been a long time because, let's see, I'd probably say about 35 years because my sons were very young when they bought this house, and they've kind of grew up here. So, um, and through the years, some odd things happened, but mostly when my kids were teenagers, I can say that there was some very weird things that happened, and
So my name's Eric. I've practically grew up in this house my entire life. Like even like when I moved out, like whether it be, you know, with my mother or when I grew up, I've always ended up back here in some way or another. My first experience that I can remember here, I remember I was really young, and I remember all the adults sitting in this living room, and I remembered a dark figure that was about as tall as me, and I was probably about like maybe that tall. I followed it into the restroom, and when I got there, nothing was there. And I thought maybe, like, hey, I was young. Once I got older, that's just part of my imagination.
Okay, guys, I am now going to do my walkthrough here at this residential case here in Sidney, Ohio, where they have been having reports of what could be possibly something very negative here, if not worse. So I'm going to conduct the walkthrough and see what I can pick up with my mediumship. And I can tell you right away, in this area, it is really heavy in the spot right here. I do get something about something being opened here. I feel like there's a doorway that has possibly been opened up. Somebody unknowingly has opened up a door here into the spirit world. Someone who's very sensitive. Mirrors are considered to be portals. Something about this room back here. Can we go in here? It's very heavy in here. Very heavy in here. I'm here. I heard homicide. I don't know. I'm not saying it happened here, but I'm getting something about homicide. It could be something that happened near here, or somebody lived close to here that was possibly murdered. I'm getting something about that.
My grandpa's name was John, and you talked about homicide. My grandpa was in World War II, and he died thinking that he would probably go to hell because of some of the things that he had to do growing up. And when he got dementia and started getting bad, he would walk around crying because of all the things he had to do in the war, which he never wanted to talk about. But he did have to do a lot of bad things. And I think that's so when you talked about homicide and knowing that my grandpa had to do what he did to defend his country, I think that was one thing that he took to the grave that really haunted him.
Back of my head is hurting in this room. I feel like somebody, whoever this would have happened to, I feel like they would have, there was a lot of trauma to the back of the head. That's what I'm picking up on. I do feel like something's off in this room. I think in this room, somebody would have experiences as to like feeling like somebody's watching them, even someone being tapped on the shoulders. I'm even getting like possibly like sensing like even possibly hearing disembodied voices in here. And it just, I feel like this is not a very comfortable room to be in alone in this room. There's a sadness in this room that seems to be lingering in here. This feels like there is something about a female. I get a very sad feeling with a female. Now, the spirits can be coming from not just from here, across the street. They could be coming from next door. It doesn't just have to be here at this location. I do feel that someone here that lives here is very sensitive and open to the spirit world. And I think unknowingly they have brought in a lot of different spirits here. I think they're attracting this energy. And there's already spirits here. They're coming and going, coming and going. I'm getting a letter J. There's somebody with the letter J, this man. His name begins with a J. He could be family, connected to the people that live here now, but I'm definitely getting a J. A very well-known man is what I get with him. But there's a sadness with him. I feel like he kind of watches over this. So I want to move over here. I'm being drawn to this other room over here. I'm hearing the name Samantha. Samantha, they're saying. This could be another spirit that comes and goes through here with that name. I do see a girl that has like longer hair. I feel like this is like from I don't know if this is like 90s with this female. Feels like it's a long time ago. I feel like she possibly lived here at that one point, or she was close near here. Something about that. I'm getting an accident. Somebody was in an accident. Again, there is a feeling of being watched in here. I do feel like in this room right here, people would experience like, I want to say like something messing with the bed, you know, like the bed even could be shaking a little sometimes, or the blankets being pulled on. It's almost like something messing with them. But I get something about the closet also, about a closet. I do feel like there could be possibly something about the closet where something hides in the closet. I feel just kind of off balance in this room. I'm not picking up on anything negative right now. Not to say there isn't anything like that here, but I'm definitely feeling a lot of different things going on in these two rooms already. So I want to continue on. I don't like it in here. I don't like this feeling in here. There is definitely something going on in here. I'm telling you, my head hurts in here. Man, I almost feel discombobulated in here. Oh my God. I don't know what this is. There's like anger in here. It's angry feeling in here. I feel like there would have been a lot of arguing. Possibly in this room. I feel like people not getting along in here. A lot of anxiety in here. And I'm hearing the name Philip. Philip? Something about that name? Okay, so I'm going to get out of this room. Now, I did pick up on a name, Philip. Can you tell me how Philip is tied to all this? The name that I got, Philip?
Philip was his son, and they never made amends before Philip passed away. My grandpa lived his life watching most of his kids pass away. He was 2 months away from being 100 years old. He watched the majority of his children pass away, including Philip, which he could never make happy, and Philip ended up passing away before he did. And that was just one of those things where Philip never came to visit him.
Oh God, I just heard somebody just said to me, I'm laying on the floor and I'm bleeding. That's what I just got. Ugh, yeah. I feel somebody close was messing with something they shouldn't have been messing with. They opened this doorway. I think somebody might have been messing with the Ouija board.
When I was younger, I was super into Halloween and stuff. And I did mess with the Ouija board at one point. But
Now, didn't I say that during my walkthrough?
yeah, you did. Forgot.
I don't know if it would have been done here or it was close. Some spirit is saying that they don't like somebody that comes here.
So was my stepson, and he is autistic. He's really smart in a lot of ways, and really out there. But he was dabbling in like white magic, black magic, whatever you want to call it. He was trying both of them out, and he would tell me that he was going to summon things, people, just summon things. And I never really actually saw him do anything, but he talked about it all the time.
Was he looking up things to do this?
Yes.
I picked up somebody doing that during my walkthrough.
Well, it was him.
I feel like somebody was kind of like, I don't know if this is the family, somebody lives here or somebody that lived here before years ago. I don't know. But I'm picking up on something about somebody being very interested in other things. It's almost like I see somebody looking up on bad things. I'm picking up on like 5 different spirits here. I have not come across nothing negative yet, but sometimes they don't come out until we begin to investigate. Then it might come out. But I do feel like there was a lot of arguing here, and the back of my head just keeps hurting. I just keep getting this pressure. I just feel like something horrible happened to somebody. Again, I was picking up on homicide. Feels like somebody was just beating the head or something, or hitting the head. But I'm feeling like there's possibly 2 men that come and go through here, and maybe 3 women. But they're coming. It's not that they're so much tied to this house. I feel like they're coming here. They're just traveling.
But when my mom was going through a divorce, I'd always end up back here, and my grandfather and my grandmother would always take care of me. And, I remember the very first thing that happened to me, I was 11 years old, and I was still scared of the dark. I mean, I was just one of those kids. So my grandfather would sleep in one room and let me have the bed in the other room. And I remember I woke up and it was daylight, and it had to have been like 7:30 in the morning. The whole room was lit up. I mean, there was no like the dark can play tricks on you because it was completely lit. And I woke up, and the first thing that I seen was my grandmother, but she looked weird, like she was dead almost. And then I stared into the corner of that room, and I had seen something that is almost undescribable. It literally looked like a shadow had stepped out of the wall, and it was just floating there, and it had this evil, like demonic looking just shape. I mean, it was there, and I started screaming and yelling, and my grandmother woke up, and she seen it too, and she tried to rebuke it. I remember she always had a Bible at her nightstand, and she tried and she tried, but it would not leave the room. So she grabbed me, and she pulled me through the hall, through this room, and into the kitchen, and had me hide under the table. And then she went back, and I remember not even a minute later, when she went back to that room, she said, "It's gone."
One in particular I got to witness and be part of, which was really scary. And it was a morning, early morning, and I was getting ready to get the boys up for school. And Eric was always hard to get up. He didn't like mornings. He still don't. But before I could even go wake him, I heard him screaming. I mean, screaming to the top of his lungs. And I went running in there. And when I got to the door, these things were being thrown at me. And I thought he was doing it for a minute.
What was being thrown at you?
CDs. And they were hitting me right here in the neck. And they were hard. And every time I took a step, try to go in there to help him, they'd throw more. And or whoever it was, whatever it was, threw more. But then I was watching Eric, and he actually, the bed isn't where it is now. It was against the wall, and he was actually going up the wall. And he was screaming. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh my God. Well, my dad was in bed. He had the door closed. He didn't know anything that was going on, except I'm sure he heard it. And no matter what I did, I couldn't get to him. It just wasn't going to let me in there. But my dad, he was a preacher. So he come flying out of his bedroom and pushed me out of the way and went in with the Bible. And as soon as he got in there, something threw Eric, I mean, from the wall, because he was on the wall, to the doorway where I was standing. And when he got to me, he just hugged me and was shaking all over. And that was the scariest thing that I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like it since.
I remember when I was 16 years old, I was going to a trade school at JVS for environmental occupations because I wanted to be a park ranger. And I remember I woke up while screaming. There wasn't even like a moment where I was already screaming while I woke up. Like when I was like awake, it's like the weirdest thing to really say, and it sounds, to me, it's really hard to really even say because it sounds ridiculous. And I just remember that I could swing my arms and I could swing my legs, but it was almost like the rest of my body was magnetized to this bed. And the only way I can really explain this kind of fear is if someone just took a needle and injected nothing but torment and terror into your veins from your head to your toes. I remember getting crushed up against the ceiling. And last thing I know, I am flying across this bedroom door into my mother's arms. And my legs never once hit that floor. And I remember after that, I was so terrified, petrified, whatever, like whatever anyone can say to really, I don't even know how you would even describe this kind of fear.
I want to ask you, at the time when you were experiencing that, where you felt like you couldn't move and stuff, um, do you remember seeing your mother at the door? Did you see what was going on with her when she was experiencing things being thrown at her?
I remember the door was open and there was a light, but I remember them screaming and wanting to get into the room, but they couldn't. And I was begging for someone to go in the room and help me because I was just having this awful, just anything. But she couldn't get in and I couldn't get out. And the last thing I heard was my grandpa just yelling and screaming, God knows what. And I just flew into her arms. It was just like crazy. It was crazy.
All right, guys. So Bobby Joe and I, we're going to begin the investigation. And we also have Dennis is with us also tonight. Dennis is Bobby Joe's boyfriend. So we're going to do this investigation here. This location is in Sidney, Ohio. And we're going to see what we can get. If we can possibly pick up on anything that the family has been going through, whatever we can get. We're going to try to get the answers for the family. Is anybody here right now? Is there anybody here that would like to talk to us? You can make a loud noise. You can go over to that device on the floor with the red light. You can light it up. Nothing we have here will hurt you. It's just another way for you to communicate with us. Oh, that was a direct response. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Can you step away from the device now? Thank you.
Are you a family member? If you are a family member, light that up again. If you're not family, can you light it up? Feels weird. You feel that? Feels weird in here.
I mean, I feel a little bit weird. What happened?
I turned down the light. Can you make a tapping noise wherever you are? I'm going to turn on this spirit box here. I'm going to turn on this device right here. This is another way you can communicate with us. So do not be afraid to go to this device and communicate. Who was lighting up that REM pod? Tell us your name. That was a name. I heard a name. I heard a guy.
I didn't hear a name. I heard a guy.
Can you repeat your name, please? So this is an ink box. It is a device used to communicate with spirit. Right now it is on shortwave, and shortwave has less frequencies. Is there any family members here in this house? Can you tell us your name again, more clear? It's making a weird sound.
I know.
On
I've never
shortwave.
heard that noise before.
Is John here? John, are you here? That just sounds...
I've never heard that box do that.
I know, that's the craziest thing. It's making a weird
I've
noise.
never heard that noise on that.
I know. I don't know
The
what.
static, yes, but not that other noise.
It's doing something weird. I'm going to switch it over to the FM, and I want to see. What are you picking up on down there? You sensing something?
No, I'm just paying attention.
Okay. Let's try this. Is John here?
Jane?
Kind of sounded like that. How many spirits are in
Or
this house?
Jane or Shane? What is it?
I couldn't make it out. Can you give us a number? Tell us how many are here. Is there something negative in this house? A dark presence here in this house? Was that a laugh?
That was a creepy laugh.
That was a creepy laugh. Was there something brought in from a Ouija board here in this house? Lord. Now his grandpa John was a preacher. Is that you, John? You know what I'd like to do, Bobby? I'd like to do a little bit of Estes in this room.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
I'll do it if you want to ask me some questions. About 5 minutes in here, and just see, and then
Sure.
we'll move on to back there to where they've been having more experiences. I'll do the Estes.
You think you're funny, don't you?
No, no, but I think if I do some Estes, I might be able to hear them better and maybe be able to say something that might come out intelligent. So let's try that. Okay. All right, guys, so I'm going to hook up to this. We're going to do the Estes method just to see what we get. We're only going to do about 5 minutes here real quick. I just want to see if I can connect, maybe hear them better through this device. Bobby Joe is going to ask me some questions. I'm going to take away one of my senses by covering up my eyes. Actually, two of my senses, because I will not be able to hear Bobby Joe. But I will be able to hear whatever's coming through the radio. So the whole point of this is for me to hopefully get some intelligent responses from the spirits. All right, so
Can you tell us your name, please?
I heard Tom. A guy said Tom.
Tom, are you related to the family that lives here?
A guy said aunt.
Is there a woman spirit here? Can you pull Mandy's hair if you are in this room?
Michelle, a woman said. Okay, we are now here standing in the hallway, and we're at the room where Eric had his experience, where when he was younger, something awful happened to him in here, where he was pinned up against the wall here. This is the room, and this is the room that I did not like when I was doing my walkthrough because of what I was picking up on. And I think right now would be a good time to do an EVP burst. And I'm going to get out my recorder, and I just want to see if I can get anything, if anyone will talk to me, see what's going on. Now, we just got back from being outside because we, as soon as we got done in the living room, we came down this hallway, and before we could start recording again, my sister Bobby Joe was immediately affected right here where we're at, and she almost collapsed. It was pretty bad. I've never seen her that bad during our investigation before.
Scary quick.
Yeah, your eyes, Bobby. You scared me. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on. If anyone is here with us right now, please come over to this device in my hand and talk to me. Who was making my sister feel that way? Is there something negative in this house, in this room? Why are you here?
Why was you attached to me for a brief moment.
I'm gonna walk that into.
Was
this.
it you I gave it to? I handed it to somebody. Is this the one from the kitchen?
Took it off the chair. The one in the kitchen's still there.
Then that was the one. I told somebody, I gave it to one of you. I said, take it. It was in my hand because I just turned it off.
Very weird feeling in here.
I still feel weird back here, but I feel way better than.
Whoa, whoa, jeez.
Holy smokies.
Okay. Who's in there? I'm telling you, that
I was
room.
getting that feeling again.
Okay, wait a minute. Are you a family member? If you're family, light that up again. And my head hurts so bad.
I'm getting the
standing here.
goosebumps, and it's up the whole right side of. That was the other thing I felt before I felt like I was going to pass out. Was
Step this way.
was goosebumps. It's all up the right side of my body.
Wow.
Whatever you figured out is in there, obviously.
I feel it on the whole right side of my head. My
My
right
head's
arm.
like, my head feels like it's burning. It's weird. It's very weird.
You want to stand there because I'm gonna put this down there. Where you want this doorway?
Yes, please, from that doorway.
Oh, come on!
Just hit the button and
I
reset
already
that.
did it.
Try,
It's
it's going crazy, isn't it? Okay. Oh, back away from it. Back away.
Can you please step away from the device? What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Blocking me.
Do you like it?
I don't know. I think it's the new battery.
Yeah, I just put that in there. Wait, no, that's not the one.
That is a new battery. I just literally put that battery in at the last location I was at. And nothing. What in the world?
Now we got different colors. Sounds like it's going to explode.
Someone's walking by.
That's what we're trying to
Okay.
get it to reset first, and then
We need to try to debunk this.
yeah, let me try to move it somewhere else.
Yeah, do that. Now that's crazy.
I'm telling you, the mirror is a portal.
That mirror very well. I mentioned that too. So you're testing it again?
No, it doesn't do that.
Back away from that, please.
Maybe
If that is spirit, back away.
maybe it's just standing there like we are, just standing around.
Okay, Bob. Whoa.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Now I really do think there's something weird.
That beeping sounds similar.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh,
That REM pod.
well, hello.
Well, hello. Who are you?
You got your back rubbed?
You felt something touch your back? What did he say?
Something rubbed his back.
Something touched your back. Something just touched Dennis. Whoa, that REM pod keeps.
Maybe he likes your beard.
There it is. That's weird.
Who's in here?
Maybe it's a woman.
Is there a female here?
Probably likes your beard.
We were told that there was a female that was staying here at one time. Something affected her in the room across here. What happened to her when she was here? Who's doing that? Back away from that.
And the last person that stayed here, they were sleeping in the other room where you had mentioned something about the closet. That's where that demon appeared the very first time.
You think it was a demon that you
I do
seen?
believe it was a demon. And the person that stayed in that room went crazy, and she's not here anymore.
How long ago was that when that person experienced that?
It was, well, the last time that person left, it was 2.5 months ago. She ended up staying in that room, and she didn't want to leave it. And she ended up talking to herself, and she ended up driving herself insane to the point to where she's not here anymore.
She never had no weird behaviors like this prior to being here?
Not like that. No. She finally, when I got to the point where we had to like say something to her, the look in her eyes was weird. It was almost like her pupils were dilated. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but she spat in my face. I mean, it got to that point. So, and she tried to hit me with a candle.
Wow. It
So
sounds like something was really affecting her.
probably, I'd imagine. I'd hope that wouldn't be, just who someone is, but you never know, I guess.
I'm going to turn on the ink box in here and see if anybody will come through. Hello. What's going on in this room? What's going on in this room? Maybe it's this. Whoa. No. Wasn't this. Did I heard leave? Who's in here? Whoa. That is not the ink box doing that. Definitely not the ink box. Okay, Bobby, how about you move the REM pod to a different area? Set it on that right there where the clothes are.
It looks right.
Really? You didn't hear that? Not really, because the box is on. Can you come over here, please, and talk to me? What was affecting the lady that stayed in this room?
What's the name of the spirit who keeps lighting up our device?
Is there a portal here on the property? Are you okay? Do you need to sit down? Bobby, all right, let me turn off my recorder. All right, Bobby's not feeling good. Are you all right, Bobby? All right, I'm going to play this back while you're sitting down. Can you come over here, please, and talk to me? Is there a portal here on the property? Are you okay? You need to sit down? Okay. Alright, let me turn off my recorder. Alright, Bobby, feeling good? Nothing. Okay,
I don't know
guys.
if I can go back here.
You guys, we just had something crazy just happen. First of all, we've only been investigating for about 15 minutes in the living room. And I just got done doing the Estes method. And Bobby Joe had said, I stopped the camera, and Bobby Joe said she saw a shadow go right in front of the entertainment stand. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I said, let's go back into the back room there where he had those experiences. And we went to walk down that hallway, and I said, I want you to tell me what you feel down here. And I'm telling you, out of nowhere, me and my sister about collapsed. I've never seen this before. She's never, ever done anything like that. Bobby Joe, what the heck just happened?
I don't know.
That was the first doorway on the left and started.
That was that door to the
I
left.
didn't even make it to the door.
It was bad.
There's one door that has a lot of my grandpa's belongings. That's a closet, the very first left.
That was the
Well,
first door that started.
I didn't even make it to that.
You made it to the doorway.
Maybe
you didn't go
2
in
steps from it, or
Yeah.
well, Mandy asked me how she was saying that she felt something back here. She wanted to know how I felt, but I almost couldn't
Well, I
even
felt
answer. I was already in
She
that
collapsed.
field.
I mean, she literally went.
I felt like I was walking downhill, like
It
I
was
was about
bad.
to start walking downhill, and then I just started feeling all heavy, and I started feeling like weak and real weirdness over my whole body, and I got terrified.
My grandpa had experienced that a lot, but that's when he started getting really bad vertigo and really bad PTSD from the war.
I wonder if you were feeling
Because I
him.
felt like I was.
I'm
Yeah,
going to tell
he
you.
he would be on his walker and he would slump and he would get dizzy and he couldn't even, keep his balance. And this was before he even got, dementia or anything of the sorts.
I think you were picking up on him, Bobby Joe. I
Something
do.
Setting in, yeah.
Well, it freaked me out because the only other time I've ever had anything this bad is when we were investigating at that hotel.
Oh, in Ohio?
That's when we
the
were
one-
visiting.
No, that was
Yeah.
yeah, it was in Ohio.
I don't
Okay.
remember where we was.
I know which hotel you're talking about.
Zanesville, past Zanesville. down
Yeah.
Southern Ohio.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
This was way worse.
I know. I saw your
feeling.
face. You scared the heck out of me.
I was terrified. I thought I
I
was going
seen
to
it.
pass out, and I was already terrified. And then almost thinking I'm going to pass out is even more terrifying on top of being terrified.
Here I go. Okay. Whatever is in this house, you must leave. If you are not of the white light, you are not welcome here. Archangel Michael, I'm asking you to come in this house and please bless this home. Only love and light can be in this house. You are not of the white light. You must leave this house. Can I open this door back here? I'm gonna need you to open your cupboards for me. I gotta hit every little corner. It's very.
He was quite sure